3, 2, 1.
Showtime.
It's simply Craig on the
To the hangout, welcome to the hangout. 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 Hey yo, so me and these dudes doing VR games, movie reviews, infused with whatever topics we choose. If we stop it, we lose, so that's why we keep on dropping the news. And you know us as a crew with the popular views. Includes X and Ray, co-host Bree Millie, SC and I'm Bryce, so you know we really bringing it live, us 5 in the hive. You liking this vibe? Then hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe. To the hangout, welcome to the hangout. I know you want to go. To the hangout, welcome to the hangout. To the hangout, welcome to the hangout. Come and have some fun. To the hangout, welcome to the hangout. No matter where you're from.
Hey, what's up, hangers? Yeah, baby, we are back in the building. It is the Hangout Experience, and we are here today to celebrate the teachers. All right, the teachers out there doing their thing because it is that time of the year again. Back to school, man. Back to school. All right, a little bittersweet because, of course, the kids are like, oh, but the parents are like, yay! Yes. Oh my God, get out of my fridge. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Get your hands out of my pocket. You know, they're happy. Get on back to school, get out of the refrigerator, get off them games, get out the TVs, get off the couch, all that. You know what I'm saying? Get back up in school. Okay. So yeah, we're definitely going to celebrate today the teachers, the educators out there that are holding it down with the kids when you got to go to work, you got to handle your business. You know, they are the second parent and they put a lot of time in. They are not appreciated as much as they should be. So we definitely are going to celebrate you today. That's what the review is all about today. And that review is for Lean on Me. Now, y'all know how we start this thing off, of course. You know, we got to give you a little information. It just would not be the Hangout Experience if we did not drop a couple gems on you. But before we do that, we always like to remind you, please, just take a little time. It don't take but a minute. It ain't even no strenuous activity if you just click that button, click that subscription button. All right, just subscribe.
Click.
Make sure you like, and make sure you share.
Share.
Love it, man. All right. Now, here we go. All right, let's start with this, okay? Because this is the last. As today's recording, all right, as of today's recording, it is the last day of those Olympic Games, man. And I know, right, dog? I know. God.
Can't be.
Yeah.
Feels like just yesterday they had the opening ceremony.
Yes. And I mean, we know it's only from July 26th to August 11th.
Yes,
But
sir.
A lot of excitement, though. A lot of excitement, man. A lot of history. A lot of records broken. You know, they like to say, black girl summer. You know what I'm saying? Like showing out. We love it.
Black girl summer.
Yeah, man. Doing their thing. But shout out to everybody, though, man. For sure. I mean, we're from America. You know, we know who we're gonna root for. However, everyone.
USA.
Yeah, man.
USA.
Come on, dog. You know, but we want to give a shout out to everybody that participated, because if you were there, if you made it, you were already a winner. So shout out to everybody that participated in the Olympics. We want to give you a quick little nugget for those that's uninitiated. All right, you would be surprised when people like everybody knows about the Olympics and everybody know. Some people just not into certain things, you know. But if you're listening to it and you just have not kept up with it at all, let's just start you off with a little background. And this is according to Wikipedia, you know, Britannica, and Olympedia.org. The 1896 Summer Olympics was the first games held that other nations attended in Athens, Greece. There were 14 nations, according to the IOC, though the number is subject to interpretation, and 241 athletes, all males. This number is also disputed. It took part in the games. with 43 events, actually. And now, with the 2024 Summer Games in Paris, there are 204 nations represented in the Summer Games with 10,714 athletes. The 2024 Paris Olympics featured 329 medal events, the second most in the history of the Games.
That's right, Price. And here at the Hangout, we like to keep y'all informed, you feel me? So, as he said, it's 10,000 athletes. You know what I'm saying? Over 329 medal events. So you gotta understand, we know the list is lengthy. We had to break down that final four, that top four. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start with number 4. Now, Australia's medal count: 18 gold, 19 silver, 16 bronze, for a total of 53 medals. You know what I'm saying? Coming in hot.
Good day, Mike.
France at number 3 with 16 gold medals, 26 silver, 22 bronze, for a total of 64.
That
would
Hollywood.
we would call that the bronze spot, number 3. Number 2, the silver spot, belongs to China with a crazy count of 40 gold medals, 27 silver, and 24 gold bronze. My apologies. For a total medal count of 91.
Siren on.
Now listen, y'all. We are these analytics just came to us about an hour ago. As of an hour ago, this was the official medal count, right? So we are not, just because we are from here doesn't mean we doctored anything, all right? You can look these up. Wikipedia, Britannica, they got you. But number 1, United States of America, the USA, with a tied gold count with China at 40 gold medals. 44 silver. It should be 43, but it's 42 bronze. For a total of 126 medals.
Good Lord, that's a lot of medals.
Out of the 329 medals,
Woo!
you got 126 of them, dog.
I say, I live in America. Yes, sir.
Do the eagle noise. Eagles. Where the eagles fly.
Where the eagles cry on the mountain high.
Hey, man. I mean, listen, it's quite obvious why. I mean, there's so many reasons. But come on, this is obviously one of the reasons why they can't stand us, man. And why they not like us. They not like us. Hey, man, we can do this all day. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to taunt them too bad. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to taunt them too bad. We're not sore winners.
Of course not. As you said, Price, even for competing in such a prestigious event to represent your country is a win in itself.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We hold our heads high. It was great watching this over the span of the few weeks that we were allowed to watch it. And, like you said, we are not sore winners here. We congratulate everybody.
No doubt. It's good stuff, man. Appreciate you, man.
USA,
Definitely giving us
USA.
I know, right? And then right after that, you like, no, right? I can't help it. I just was like, yes. I'm gonna go put on my Rocky shorts. You know what I'm saying? Wrap that flag around me.
Shout out to Apollo Creed, man.
Hey, I'm trying to told you. Nah, man, good stuff, man. Appreciate the medal count and everything like that. Again, like we said, the 11th, and at the time of the recording, it is 11th. And we definitely want to make sure you know that the 11th was the last day for the games. So, okay. Well, that's the good way to start off. I mean, don't it make you feel good, man, to know you're living in one of the greatest countries in the world? I mean, come on, man. Just saying. And speaking of the greatest, again, shout out to all your teachers out there. I mean, truly, just shout out all your teachers. and a special shout out to
The
Generations.
unsung heroes.
Yes, absolutely, man. Special shout out to Generations Barbershop. Free haircuts for the school. They gave them out from 10 a.m. to 2. All right. I'm like, whoa, that's what's up, man. Because listen, I do understand that's how barbers make their money. Okay. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a time where you could really make a bunch of money because they know the kids need haircuts and so forth and so on. And, you know, they definitely have gone up on the haircuts. You know, I haven't had one of those in a minute. But I understand that they have gone. I remember when I got a haircut, man. I think when it got to $10, I was like, man, I'm sure it's going up. And now, I mean, $45 to get your haircut.
That's a lot of money for you, not for me.
Come on, man. I mean, it's expensive. It's expensive. So
expensive for sure. But for the kids, it's worth it for the kids. Come on now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We love the kids. They gotta have you can't send them looking raggedy when they go back to school. So yeah.
Of course. Sharp and crispy, man. You know what I'm saying? They gotta look their best.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Dress for success.
Yeah, dress for success, for sure, man. Yeah, it's amazing, man. But we definitely want to shout out Generations Barbershop. They did not have to do that. From what I understand, they had a lot of people waiting. So you know they were super, super busy. So if anybody knows of Generations Barbershop, please tell them they're here to hang out. We appreciate you. And if you're listening at Generations, definitely shout out to you. All right.
Salute.
Man, it is that time, baby. Listen, man, I've just been chomping at the bit, man. It's just one of those feel-good movies, man, that I grew up on, that I still remember to this day. Like the feeling I had watching it, you know, even back then. Lean on me, okay? Lean on me. Lean on me when you're not strong. Man, that's it, man.
Hey,
I love it.
Snaps and claps, man. Snaps and claps.
I'm trying to told you. And I tell you too, man. I remember seeing it back then, and looking at my boy Morgan. Now, as a kid, of course, Morgan Freeman was an older dude. You know what I'm saying? He was, I'm gonna call him old, you know, because I mean, hell, you might have been my age at that point, which would make me old. So, but I just realized I had never really seen him young, and then Timmy reminded me like, oh, well, you know, Electric Company, and I'm like, right, but I don't remember Electric Company as well as I remember, you know, Pee-wee's Playhouse or, you know what I'm saying, you know, the Muppets or Sesame Street or anything like that.
Didn't really resonate, didn't really stick the landing, as they say.
Exactly. But of course, Electric Company, for those that don't know, this was on like PBS, you know what I'm saying? It was one of those public access channels and things like that for the kids. It was reminiscent of, I guess, a little bit of Sesame Street. They, you know, try to teach things, all right, on there, teach the kids and stuff. And, you know, so him just standing out on there, I can't just really recall, but I'm pretty sure since our researcher knows quite a bit, that he was on there. So, yeah, man. Yeah, listen, your boy, man, that's an amazing actor. I mean, listen, I know we shout out the Denzels and everything like that, you know, a lot and everything, but you definitely can't sleep on Morgan Freeman, man. I mean, he has stood the test of time when it comes to acting in great roles. You know, he doesn't have a whole bunch of roles that you're like, oh my God, man, you know, you just took the money on that.
As far as influential in our culture, I believe he's probably top 2 and probably not 2. You know what I mean?
Right.
He set the bar, set the standard.
Absolutely. A lot of hits, man. A lot of hits. I mean, we talking about
that brother don't miss.
And no, he don't. No, he don't. And we talking about movies that will stick in your mind forever. We talking about Shawshank, all right? We talking about Seven. Okay. Now, let me make sure I'd say this, all right? Because this is something I think our people knows. I mean, we just know this. He's going to more likely have a white co-star, more than likely. You know what I mean? He probably won't, you know, be the top billing on that movie. However, what we also do know is that he absolutely is a scene stealer, for sure. that he holds his own in that movie. And we also understand how it went in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it was. And but he played his role. He did what he had to do, and when he was on screen, he just took over, man. So yeah, definitely shout out to Morgan Freeman, man, for sure, for doing that. Now, however, this is a movie that he had top billing. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm sitting complaining like, oh my God, he never had a top billing of a movie. Yeah, of course. I mean, top billing of this movie. Also Kiss the Girls, where he was starring in that one with I think Ashley Judd. And that was based on the book by James Patterson. Okay. My man has been doing his thing for a while, and for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think probably my favorite roles of him to have was Bruce Almighty, because he played God. I mean, come on. I mean, he played the top dog, the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You can play God.
Out my mouth, dog.
Dude.
I just remember watching Bruce Almighty for the first time, and I'm like, he has such a divine voice.
Doesn't he? like you heard God's voice, it would sound like that, right?
I'm God.
It just made sense. I don't know. It clicked at me at a very young age.
Right.
This man, I don't know. Does he narrate books? Like, does he talk for a living? Can I hear him talk on the regular? Because what?
That's right. And they put him on things that when he's narrating things, and it just sounds just well. He's got that smooth, buttery, commanding voice. So we definitely love him for that, for sure. Okay, so we do know, again, like I said, this is starring Morgan Freeman. Okay, it also has Beverly Todd, Miss Levias. Now, I don't recall seeing her in too much after that, but she definitely was in that and doing her thing. Apparently, she was in the bucket list with him as well, which she starred in, with Jack Nicholson. But as far as any prominent roles, I don't recall her having any after that. However, in this one, she definitely held it down, did her thing. That specifically one thing that I'm going to call out later to really just show how strong of a character she was. Robert Gilliam, and I might be butchering his name a little bit, but we do know this was Benson back in the day. All right, this was Benson. And for everybody who knew who Benson was, I mean, he did his thing, man. Had 7 seasons on Benson, and he was the star, man. He was basically the star, and he's had a lot of good roles as well. You know what I mean? But when you talking about that, that black actor that has always been distinguished, you know what I'm saying? Just the way he presents himself, when he's on screen with other people as well. Definitely wasn't a pushover type of character. Gotta love him for it. I love him. Now, my boy Jermaine Hopkins, okay, and we know him as Sam's, of course. And then also, he played in Juice. Okay, he was part of the Wrecking Crew with Tupac, Omar Epps, my guy who played Raheem. Yeah, he was in quite a few things, man. I always liked him, so he always was like a scene stealer as well. Like when he was on the scene, he was entertaining. So shout out Jermaine Hopkins. Lynn Thigpen, Leona Barrett, the woman you love to hate, and Lean on Me, you know what I'm saying? And she had that look today. I mean, you got to shout out the casting directors, man. Okay, the casting directors kind of know who's going to look mean or look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, they're gonna hate this person. You know what I mean? Like they be knowing, like, golly, like, my goodness. And then we have, of course, my man Michael Beach. Okay, Mr. Darnell. Mr. Flip Your Desk Over Darnell, doing his thing for sure. And we know now Michael Beach is funny. Michael Beach is funny to me because if Michael Beach was in a movie with with anything about women or however, he was usually the bad guy. He's usually going to be the cheating husband, or you know what I'm saying, something like my man can't catch a break. And even in here, you know.
Well, he couldn't catch a break in this one either.
Right, exactly. Yeah, man. So definitely. Shout out Alan North, who played Mayor, you know, Don Bottomman. You know, he did his thing as well. You know, played the guy that you love to hate. And then, of course, man, come on, man, the original, the OG Candyman, Tony Todd played Mr. William Wright. Okay, and you know, of course, we love Tony Todd, man. Tony Todd also had one of them type of voices, man, where he was just like perfect for horror, and that's why he was in so many horror movies. So, but Tony Todd, man, definitely shout out to him. Always giving those chilling performances, and got to shout out, you know, Miss Regina Taylor playing Mrs. Carter. All right, but basically, man, this was a nice ensemble of cast. All right, Karen Molina White playing Kanisha Carter. You know, her doing her thing. Mr. Clark. You know, Gee, we want to try to bring the tears to you, man, a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
This was a great, I mean, to compliment what you're saying, man, this was a great cast. I think they all worked together well on this film, man.
For sure.
It really showed. You know, everybody played their role to the T. Everybody showed up, showed out. No scene felt small in that movie, you know?
No doubt at all, man. So, SC, do you mind, brother?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind just giving us a little bit of a synopsis, a little bit of info on what this film is all about?
No problem. I got you. In this fact-based film, a New Jersey superintendent, Dr. Frank Napier, watches helplessly as Eastside High becomes the lowest-ranked high school in the state. With nowhere else to turn, Dr. Napier enlists Maverick ex-teacher Joe Clark, Morgan Freeman, to take over as principal in the declining school. Unfortunately for Clark, before he can focus on improving the student body's state exam scores, he has to somehow rid the school of its gang and narcotics problems. The film was released March 3rd, 1989. The director was John G. Abelson. It was distributed by Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers Pictures with a budget of $10 million, bringing in a box office budget of $31 million.
They made some money.
Yeah,
they made some money, and which we already know back in 1989, that's way more money, you know what I'm saying, than it is now. So, not bad.
Yeah.
21 million. That's what you call a success. Definitely back in that time, for sure. Yeah, appreciate that, man, for sure, man. It's and you know what? Were synopsis better back in the day? Because that's a pretty good synopsis, man.
Yeah, man. I feel like nowadays they kind of just, you know, all right, well, hey, the movie is this. This is the guy that goes through this. There you go.
And that's enough. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No interest to really see a synopsis like this will make you actually want to go see the movie.
For sure, bro.
Yeah, more descriptive.
Exactly. Tells you what it's about, you know. So yeah, for sure. They've gotten lazy. They've gotten a lot of shorthand now. You know what I mean? You know. So all good though. All good.
All right, ladies and germs. Here's the trailer for the 1989 cinematic masterpiece called Lean on Me.
This is a chance for us to make some changes. Go in and see if we can turn this thing around. I mean, nobody else wants the job.
East Side High was out of control, and then Joe Clark took over.
Take out your pencils and write. I want the name. Every hoodlum, drug dealer, and miscreant on my desk by noon today.
They called him Crazy.
You used to call me Crazy Joe? Well, now they can call me Batman.
Crazy for padlocking the doors.
You know me 30 years. You knew what I would do.
Crazy for changing the rules.
I want all of you to look at this slovenly, floppy boy here. as an example of how not to dress.
But Joe Clark was only crazy about one thing: the kids he cared about.
You mess up just once, and you're out of here. You are here for one reason only: to learn.
Morgan Freeman stars in the true story of Joe Clark.
My motto is simple: if you do not succeed in life, I don't want you to blame the white man. I want you to blame yourself.
From the director of Rocky and the Karate Kid.
Welcome to the new East Side High.
Lean on Me.
Okay, even the trailer, man.
Like butter, baby.
It's like butter, man. Like the trailer is even
like
good.
butter, baby.
And it's crazy because they got the epic movie voice guy, right? That they do on Honest Trailers or whatever. Joe Clark. They called him crazy for locking the doors, crazy for. I was like, man, okay. Good stuff for sure. Man, I'm telling you, bro, even watching that just then, maybe like I could literally watch that movie again, dog, because it's just scenes in there, dog. It's like, whoa, okay. We're gonna get to it. But how about we do this first? Let's just give you a little bit of background on the person that we are about to discuss, okay? According to NBCnews.com and Wikipedia, the real-life Joe Louis Clark passed away December 29th, 2020. He was the principal of Eastside High School in Paterson, New Jersey. Clark gained public attention in the 1980s for his unconventional and controversial disciplinary measures as the principal of Eastside High. He was known for carrying a wooden baseball bat through the halls of the troubled school. Was controversial and landed him on the cover of Time magazine in 1988, 1 year before the movie came out, by the way. So this is like just like we did with radio and everything. Okay, prolific people that they made such an impact on people's lives that they said we need a movie about this so we can tell the world about this person. Amazing. I love it, man. I love it. I definitely love it. So,
Absolutely.
The song "Lean on Me" was written and recorded by American singer, songwriter Bill Withers. All right, it was released in April 1972, and this song has been covered or sampled over 15 times by a wide variety of artists. Bill Withers was a bad man, by the way. Yeah, he was bad man.
Why? You know what I'm saying? That's a song that'll kind of, lack of a better term, motivate you, push you, make you stronger.
Yes, sir. I'll help you carry on. Yeah, man. It just makes you like, I know that. It makes you victor with a thing.
Feeling the spirit.
Yeah, bro.
The spirit.
Like, oh man. Okay, so without further ado, man, let's just jump into Lean on Me. Again, like I said, shout out to the teachers. As we just said about this great educator. Okay, because I can't just call him a teacher. He became a principal and everything. He was an educator. He ended up on the Time magazine cover of 1988. And it seemed like when you watch this movie, man, and now don't get me wrong, I'm not in school right now, okay? I've heard some of the challenges. I just know that as we continue to go on in life, it sometimes seems like the people that cared or the things that we care about, it doesn't seem as much, nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get that feeling like you get back in the day. Now, however, I'm not in school, so this is not any dig on anybody or slight on anybody. However, but we do know things, change as they go on. In my time of growing up in the schools and so forth and so on, you definitely had those out there that were quite attentive to you. Sometimes felt like a second parent at those times. And that's why I wanted to start off by thanking the teachers for everything they do. We know, listen, even at our jobs, any job that you have right now, everybody can say, well, this person here kind of cares, but this person kind of don't care, and so forth and so on, right? That's with everything, you know. So I'm pretty sure there's some teachers out there that know I give my all, I stay after school, I give tutoring, I such and such, and this other person just gets their check and go home, right? I mean, we got that in every aspect of our lives, all right? So I'm pretty sure, and that's why I wanted to shout out the ones that do. X, I know you have definitely a insight on this as well, as you know someone very close to you that is an educator, you know, and I'm pretty sure.
I have a few people that are close to me that are in this field, and you know, getting the behind the scenes of the work that they put in to not only, you know, perfect the craft of being able to educate young minds, but the care that goes into making it feel like a home away from home, you know.
Right.
It's really moving. It's touching. You know, I see the ripple effects of some, you know, old classes that still want to keep in contact because of how connected, you know, she was as a teacher, or she still is. And, you know, I'm proud to just see the effect that she has and my mother-in-law has on people. You know, they go above and beyond to just not only make you feel secure, make you feel at home, but still keep that education first and still help you in every area, but not, you know, it's just good to see that light of educators that care is still shining bright through the generations, because like you said, there's a lot of people who come to their job and just collect a check, and there's others that go above and beyond that sometimes, you know, they're so good that they get overlooked for being as good as they are because they just know the type of work that they put in, but that doesn't overshadow the work that they put in and that the recognition that they deserve, and, you know, the love and support that they've earned by working as hard as they do.
Right. Well, we appreciate them. Salute to you. You know, we give a lot of you know, props and praise to our soldiers and armed forces and so forth and so on. And we always say, hey, you know, thank you for your services. Thank you for your services. We got, you know, we got Veterans Day, Memorial Day. Let me say this to all your teachers out there right now. Thank you. Thank you for your services. All right. For all the hard work that you do. I'm pretty sure your work doesn't just stop at the school. You bring it home with you when you're working on, you know, the curriculums and, you know what I mean? You know, syllabuses and all these things here. We appreciate you. We absolutely salute you, and we appreciate your services that you give to the kids, to this world, basically. Okay, so I'm gonna dive into this, man. I mean, you know, when it starts off, man, just how it starts off, it just starts off so cool. You know, the school looks all clean, right? The students are all attentive and they're playing games with education, and it seems fun to answer questions. And oh man, your man is in it. He got the fro, you know, he froed out, you know what I mean? Got like a dashiki looking thing going on. So, you know, he's teaching you know, Black history, you know, right? And you know, he's got everybody involved, man. He seems fun, you know, right? Because the Joe Clark that you see later, this is not him at that moment, right? This is the more fun Joe Clark, and even with the students that are reacting to him, you know, it doesn't. The worst part it was for them, he was like, well, we're gonna have a test tomorrow or something, or study learn these 30 words, and then it was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But of course, it's all to help them, right? But of course, my man come in there like, hey, Joe, you know, let me talk to you for a minute outside and everything like that. And we find out that, you know, this teacher board is voting, you know what I'm saying, making some votes without him, of course. So, you know, you can already see that he's kind of the black sheep a little bit, because my man is vocal. My man is vocal. You know, he lets you know what is on his mind. He's not holding back nothing. You know what I'm saying? Man, when he came up in there and he was like, hey, what you doing? What you doing, man? You're just gonna let them take over and this, that, and other, and they just like, well, you know, Joe, this, that, he about to fight the other dude. But man, he stood up on the desk and bending over in front of the tools and all that stuff, bro. I was like, Joe's crazy, man. Joe's crazy. But they basically were like, hey, look, you know, we took a deal but we had to vote you out. You know what I'm saying? As long as we voted you out and, you got you out of here, we could, get the funds and everything that we need for the school and so forth and so on. So we see how he's treated right in the beginning. He's when we're talking about those teachers that's not appreciated, he was definitely one of them. And he just wasn't going to sit and take it anyway, got up out of there. And then, of course, I like the transition, you know what I mean? How you see the clean school and the way they just faded. I mean, that to me was perfect, man. I mean, that fade in, that transition from clean.
Where the school went.
Bro.
After that 20 years. Because let me tell you, Price, again, I get to watch this kind of stuff close up. You know how hard it is to keep kids entertained while you're trying to teach them?
Right.
I hear the struggles of that every day. And focus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for him to lose out on his position because of, riffraff and backstage politics, and then to see the transition of where the school went, because it seems like, after his touch, it went south. Went completely south.
Right. And he told them. He literally said, okay, all right, fine, do this without me. We'll see where the school is, where it ends up. And I mean, he was dead on the money. So my man had foresight. He definitely had foresight. And cut to 20 years later, I mean, this is what we got. We got graffiti all on the wall. We got dudes selling drugs in the hallway. We got people fighting. We got the girl being harassed in the girls' bathroom by other girls, getting her shirt ripped off to where she, you know what I'm saying, almost bucket naked coming out of the bathroom, And
don't forget weapons. They got weapons all over the school too.
Dude, they beating up the teachers, bro. And then, of course, I gotta say, because I mean, I'm not the biggest rock dude. However, there are certain songs that I love, and this Guns N' Roses song, "Welcome to the Jungle." You know what I'm saying? When I hear that, I'm like, boy, it's going down. I don't care what movie it is. If you hear that song, that scene is going down. You feel what I'm saying? And Absolutely. So, just a perfect song to bring in because it was like a jungle in there, man. They beating the teacher, man. They smashing his head. They gotta take him out in the gurney, and it's like, good God Almighty, bro. Can you imagine, bro, going to a school like that every day, and you actually want to learn? You actually want to try to be a good kid, and that's what you got to deal with. Good God, man. So that's why they needed a Joe Clark, man. For sure, they had to. No one else would have been able to handle that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we are with it. I mean, we find out basically from Robert Guillaume that who has become the superintendent, right? He's in there with the mayor, and the mayor's like, hey, I've got election coming up. You know what I mean? I need to win. And then of course the lawyers letting them know, like, hey, but you got the school, man, that's getting the lowest test grades, in the district. You know what I mean? So you can't win if you doing this because this is one of your schools right here, of course, we already know he doesn't really care about that. However, he cares about the numbers. He cares about winning. So he needs somebody to come and do their thing. And it's funny because superintendent, right? He never even said the name. He didn't even have to say it. All he had to say was, what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Do you want this cleaned up or not? And the mayor looking like, oh, no, not him. No, anybody but him. No way, no how, not him. He's like, hey, bro.
Sometimes you got to break that glass. What it say? In case of emergency.
In case of emergency. That's right. This
was an absolute emergency, and they had to break the glass on this one.
And I think I should point this out too, man, because as we knew when we were first talking about this, we all were familiar with this movie. We had all watched this movie at one point in time in our lives. I definitely want to point it out that this was your first time watching Lean on Me, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. I envy you sometimes, man. I'm telling you, bro. Like when we do some of these retros and hood classics and now all this stuff here, I envy you, bro, to get, especially the ones like this where it's such a good movie and you get to take it in for the first time, bro. Years later, And I feel like, for one, the movie aged well, because even when I was watching it, I was still in it, bro. Like every scene, I was still in it, looking at it like it was my first time. So I definitely envy you for sure, brother. But yeah, man. So coming in, we already see that Joe Clark is needed. But Joe, to be honest with you, he was doing good. Now was he the principal of that other school? He was at an elementary school. Oh yeah, he was a principal, because that's what old girl said later, was that he was the principal of her elementary school. So yeah, so he's the principal, and he's doing okay. I mean, he's chilling, man. The kids seem to love him. He got it nice and calm over there. Nobody's trying to kill him. Nobody's trying to, kick him out and whatever. So he's actually chilling. My boy, superintendent comes over, and he's just like, as soon as he sees him, man, he already know what it is, And you can't play him, because he knows, if you coming to see me, then you need me, because apparently everybody else said no.
Can't con a con, man. Can't con a con, man.
And yeah, but you know what I also saw in that moment? I saw a little bit of how he felt when they did kick him out. He did love the school. His heart was, still there, and he felt some kind of way about it. But this was retribution. This was like, I told y'all what was going to happen, and now you need me. And that's how, things tend to happen. You know what I'm saying? That, God brought that right back around for him, and allowed him to be able to come back and be at the school that he wanted to be at anyway, and end up a principal, because he was a teacher initially, but he ended up being the principal. So I was happy for him for that. However, when he walked up in there, man, you can just see the heartbreak on his face. A school that he once loved, and walking into it, seeing what it had become.
Where has my school gone?
Oh, bro. Heartbreaking, bro.
He, for lack of a better term, was welcome back to the jungle.
For sure. But, he came into it ready to do his thing, knowing that there were some changes that was going to have to be made. The very first thing with old boy kind of, hey, Mr. Clark, we'd like to welcome you here, and such and da. We prepared this for you, and this and other. He just sit there looking at him, like, sit down, Mr. Malley. You know what I'm saying? No one talks in my meeting. No one. And he came off yelling. I mean, he's yelling at the teachers, he's yelling at the students. He yells. All right, let's make sure y'all do know that. Mr. Joe Clark, he yells. His voice carries, his powerful voice. He's definitely using his diaphragm. You know what I mean? That's for sure. You don't have to worry about that. He's done his breathing exercises. He uses his voice.
Absolutely. Because and the scene that we were talking about is well needed. He told them the truth. He said, listen, if your plan worked, or if any of y'all's commentary worked, I wouldn't be here right now.
I wouldn't even be
me. And that's the absolute truth. Because again, all right, they're like, all right, well, this guy's here now. Let's see if we can just try to do it this way. Right. No, they brought me in here to bring a fresh perspective and to try this my way. So here's how it's gonna go.
Yep.
Cowboy laying down the law.
Yeah, for sure. Right. I don't even want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff. I don't need your pleasantries. I ain't coming for all that. I came here to fix what y'all couldn't do. Let's make that known. And it's cool because he had his posse behind him, right? So he had the security, he had, you know what I'm saying, the janitor, everybody's behind him, right? Yeah, this is my crew, this is my posse. And then when he introduces Tony Todd's character, he kind of, Tony Todd puts his hand on his hip, like letting him know, showing his badge and everything, like, hey, you know what I mean? I'm up in here. I ain't the one.
I ain't the one. Listen here. It's gonna get taken care of out here.
You feel me? And I like how they had him though, because it wasn't security like in a security uniform. I mean, he had on a blazer. You know what I'm saying? Nice pants and everything like that, looking professional. You know what I mean? Looking like you should. So he comes into it, man, from the jump, laying down the law, letting them know, I need the names of every troublemaker in here, every drug dealer, you know what I'm saying, violent, offender, everything, give it to me. Now you already see the attitudes kind of going across the table, with the one lady who was the choir teacher and everything like that. Of course, she already, you already knew where this was going to go. She already rolled her eyes and just doesn't want to hear it. Some people aren't good with change.
You could tell I won't say the confrontational ones, like you said, that won't accept the change and or who he think he is coming in here, thinking he can save everybody. He's not a savior. And it's like not even a chance to kind of sit back and say, oh, well, let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Exactly.
He just kind of throwing his weight around and we don't like that. And
yep.
Ooh.
Like you said, if they were doing a good job, he would not even need to be there. You would think that they would be like, God, thank you. Somebody come up in here to try to help.
Some help.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Some help. Jeez Louise.
Good God, Mr. Williams just got his head bashed in. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I was next, But yeah, man. So we already know what it is. But of course, another good thing for me is having everybody rounded up. And of course, just like troublemakers do, they're on the stage, cutting up, talking on the mic, smoking on stage. You know what I'm saying? They smoking cigs, cigarettes, crack. Just open smoking, bro. Like, no, don't care nothing about authority whatsoever. The teachers can't do nothing with them, man. I'm like, good God. So, so we get to see who it is. And when my man come up in there, bro, and it's funny because he wasn't even like scary at that moment, right? He just came in, of course, he saw Kanisha, hey, Mr. Clark, oh, hey, Kanisha, how you doing? Hey, it's so good to see you, and such and da-da-da, and the girl's like, who's that? Oh, that was my principal in an elementary school, and, Mr. Clark, and so, he comes up, nobody knows who he is, so there's no fear at that moment. But he gets up there, man, and he's like, hey, I want y'all to pay attention. You see everybody up on the stage here? I want you to get a good look at them. This is gonna be the last time that you're gonna see them because they are all expelled. And what's the word? He didn't even say expelled. He said something else, dog.
Expunged. No, expunged.
Something. Expunged. I don't know if it was something, dog. It was something, an E word. But
it was. I caught that too. It was, but he wasn't playing no games.
But what's funny though, I say that because even though at the time I'm thinking like, what does that mean? They knew that he meant get up out of there.
Oh yeah, they meant it's over. It's over. Y'all no longer loitering around this school. It's time to go.
It's time to go. And of course they started to talk mess, but he got his security team right there, bro, escorting the boys up out of there, dog. And you can already see the main one was going to be the issue because, oh boy, they had to pick him up off his feet.
Oh yeah. I'm coming for you, Mr. Clark. I don't know who you think you are, Mr. Clark. Now he's the one that really felt, and it psychologically speaking, it be those children that are the ones that feel the most given up on.
Right.
That's another moment in his face that he feels given up on, so he lashes out because that's the only way he feels seen. And
right.
It was rough. I felt for him in the scene too, man, because it's like, you don't mean that. You just mean I really want the opportunity to try, but
it's the only way I know how to express it.
It's the only way I know how to express it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, however, you have to understand the position of Joe Clark because he's saying that may
absolutely
be. However, you're disturbing the other 2,700 students, you know what I'm saying?
Who actually came here to learn, like you said
came here to learn.
We come to this school every day trying to learn, but this is the environment we in. So it's like, okay, let's neutralize the environment, stabilize it, and recreate it.
Right. Yep. Now, as we find out, because here's the thing, had some of them showed some type of remorse or whatever, then he might have been open to, like giving it a second thought. And we know that he wasn't just a straight up like, oh, he just don't care and this, that, and other, because then we get a chance to see our boy Sam, right? This is when we first really get a chance to see who he is, because all we know is he's up there with the troublemakers. You know what I'm saying? That's all we know about him. Hat turned back, clothes hanging all off him, whatever. And he's up there with the troublemakers. So we like, you know, you there with them. But of course, you know, he pulls up. Joe Clark pulls up to the school. Sam is waiting out there for him early. You know, he's teary-eyed and, you know, basically begging him like, hey man, listen, I was one of those kids, but I think you made a mistake. And you're like, well, what's your name? You know, no, Sam, sir. Well, let's look. You ninth grade? Yes. But you're smoking crack though, you know, and you're doing this and cutting up and skipping class and something. Oh no, you got me confused, sir. That wasn't me. He's like, boy, don't play me. You know, don't try to play me.
Can't con the con man.
Can't con the con man. But snatches him up, of course, right? You go into school, you think, oh, okay, just gonna take him into school somewhere. They go to the roof. They go to the roof, man. And you know, he's like, you know, if you're gonna be doing all this and smoke crack, you might as well jump off the roof, because that's basically what you're gonna do. You're just killing yourself slowly. He was like, don't F around with it. Just go ahead and do it, you know. And he's like, I don't want to. He said, but you smoke crack, right? You know, and it's funny, man, because that part for me, dog, is like, I'm thinking like, even if he didn't, he made him feel like he did, because, you know, you smoke crack, right? No, sir. You smoke it.
Man.
Don't you smoke it? Don't you smoke it? So he's like, I'm like, even if he didn't, I would admit it to it. I guess I do.
Man, maybe I do smoke a little crack. Jesus Christ. All right, man. Look, all right,
you smoke crack, don't you? Don't you smoke it?
The way he was yelling at him, he just own up to it, fess up to it.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?
I would confess to anything in that moment. I killed Kennedy. I did whatever. Whatever, man. Whatever you say. Because I mean, that's a little scary, bro. You on the edge of a roof and somebody's yelling at you. My good God, man.
And yelling at you to jump.
Yeah.
He said, "Look, go on ahead, man. Look, you killing yourself slowly with this crack. Go and jump off this roof, then, dog. Go on ahead.
Oh,
you do crack, you can jump off this roof."
Dude.
I didn't understand the correlation, but I mean, 80 it's 89. I don't know.
Right. I've never smoked crack. I don't know how it makes you feel. I don't know if it makes you feel like you're jumping off the roof, you know?
Exactly. I don't have the infield research to kind of understand the scene like that psychologically. Like, is that what crack does? Make you want to jump off the roof?
Right? Oh my God, man. All I know is you smoke crack, don't you? Don't you smoke it? Golly. So, but I right there.
Hurry up, Sam's. Expeditiously now.
Right, Sam's. But at that moment, you get a chance to really see what kind of person that Joe Clark is. Yes, he's tough. All right. Yeah, he could probably look a little mean or however to some people. However, he does care, because, you know, this dude pleading with him, this kid pleading with him, he can see that he is serious. You know, he does want another chance. You know, he's crying and snotting and everything like that. And he touched his heart, man. He was like, you know what? I see something in him. I'm going to give you another chance. However, you get one chance. You mess up one time, you out of here, buddy. Yeah, you know, and then of course when he asked about his father, you know, his father wasn't there and so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? How it is sometimes, right? And so he gave him another chance, man. And I was glad to see that, because that showed he does have a heart. You know what I mean? Not just all bark and being mean and all bark and bite. You know, he does have a heart. So that was good. And then like I said, we get a chance to see who Sam is, he's a central character in this story. But man, I tell you like this here, Joe Clark didn't play around with them teachers, man. He did not play around with the teachers, because his thing was, and you know, rightfully so. Like, you know, you guys are the adults. You are the authority here. You know, it starts with you. You know what I'm saying? The teaching, the learning, the disciplines, and so forth and so on. It starts with you. Yes, you having some students that are coming from troubled homes and so forth and so on. Might not have the best parental guidance and so forth and so on, but you are that second parent. You know what I mean? And sometimes you have kids who respect teachers more than they respect their parents, unfortunately, right?
And let's be honest, sometimes, Price, if we being 100% honest, if you don't hold the teachers accountable, I'm pretty sure they use that same excuse. Oh, well, these kids are troubled, right, and they come from these environments anyway. They don't really want to learn. This is like, you know, we know around that time the propaganda that might have been spewed to skew a viewpoint. So they might have assumed these kids, they really maybe aren't gonna amount to nothing because they came from. So why even try? Let me just come collect a paycheck. Exactly. Joe Clark, like, nah, if you're working under my house, you're gonna care about these kids.
Exactly.
You're gonna care about these kids.
And you're gonna earn this paycheck.
Earn your paycheck.
Yeah, for sure. He held them accountable, like you said. He definitely held them accountable, and that was good. That was good. And then, of course, you know what I'm saying, he's cleaning house. I mean, this first part of the movie, first act, is pretty much about him cleaning house, establishing who he is, and cleaning house. He not only has some bad students, he has some, I don't want to say bad teachers. He just has some teachers, like you said, that are either disgruntled, you know what I'm saying, you know, a little bit of troublemakers themselves in a sense. And he unfortunately has to move them around. I listen, man, when it got to the choir teacher, yeah, at the moment it's like, God, man, it's a little aggressive or a little extra. However, when he explained it later, I get it. When he's basically saying, listen, you're teaching Mozart to these kids in the hood, right? That's not what's going to help them out here in this world. You know what I'm saying? I need you to help me out, teach them something a little more grounded. You feel what I'm saying? You know, to get them prepared for this world. Mozart is not going to do that, you know. At that moment, I felt like, okay, you're more worried about yourself because you want to win this event. Because, you know, that was her thing. Well, you know, we're not going to be invited back to the Carnegie Hall thing and stuff like y'all doing like that. She wants to win. You know what I'm saying? She's not looking at, you know, really just trying to set them up for success. She wants to.
No, of course not. She was looking at the whole big picture of, I took this inner city school on the brink of failure, and I brought them all the way to New York to breed champions. This is me. That's kind of the order she gave. You know what I'm saying? And then when they had that disagreement back and forth, it was like, oh yeah, you really don't care about these kids. Like it just showed to me in that one scene right there. So I'm like, all right. But I know it's something with this pianist. Right. I know she can connect with these kids, not just because of the color of her skin, but it's because she understands.
Right. Absolutely. Probably came from where they came from, so forth and so on. Yeah, exactly. Now, SC, while we're talking about that, did you, have a choir teacher or anything like that was kind of along those lines? You know, did they kind of, was it a little bit more grounded with the things they were teaching, or they were more on this Mozart, type of thing?
I went to a couple schools. The school that I went to in Chicago, my choir, I had a couple of chorus teachers. One of them was Craig Robertson. Shout out to Horseman Elementary. Craig Robertson, famous comedian, actor, and all that good stuff.
That's great.
So he was down to earth, and he was able to interact and communicate with a lot of us, and he knew what was going on. A couple of other schools that I went to, they really ain't know. But I guess it was me being in another environment, so it would be me adapting to what they were teaching and their curriculum and all that. But yeah,
and yeah, definitely shout out to Craig Robinson, man. I remember when we worked at the Fox, I got a chance to see him because he came, and it was funny because Seth Rogen made a joke about him always having the towel. He sweats a lot, and everywhere he go, he has that towel with him because he's a sweaty dude. But I remember when he was there, he was in the where the concessions was. I forgot what we called that room down there, but when I saw him, I started singing the song that he sung on "This Is the End," and I got a chuckle out of him. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's a good memory for me with Craig Robinson, is that I got a chance to get a little chuckle out of him because I sang the song that he was singing on the movie. You know what I mean? But like you said, bro, he just seemed down to earth, real cool. I can imagine him being a great choir teacher. You know what I'm saying? Definitely relating to the students. So that's still good, man. Okay, that's what's up. I bet y'all didn't know that. I bet y'all didn't know that, one of our hosts actually was a student of Craig Robinson. Okay, so that's what's up. Now, if y'all wonder who's Craig Robinson, who was Craig? All right, if y'all have seen Hot Tub Time Machine, you know what I'm saying? This Is the End, Pineapple Express. All right, he's the black dude. Put it like this. You had the Rat Pack, right? And then Sammy Davis Jr. was that black guy. Okay, well, he's the black guy with Seth Rogen's and, you know what I'm saying, Michael Cera and all them other people, man. He's that black guy. So anyway, good stuff. That's what's up. How about you, X? Anybody else? Any fond memories of choir teachers and stuff like that?
Oh, I've had quite a few, man. I've had quite a few, but I think, man, this is gonna be bad because I don't remember names. It's
All
very
right.
bad.
Probably
But
best that you don't.
I've had kind of in the same similar situation, kind of ironically. I did have a principal that kind of followed me through from elementary to middle school that was looking out for me, that I had a really great relationship with. Kind of kept me in line in school, and when I'd have my act out moments, just she sat back and reminded me, hey, whatever this is, it'll pass. And she always had the greatest, kindest words for me. I remember stuff like that. I did have my string of teachers who, just saw the best in me, encouraged me, pushed me forward, and wanted the best for me, helped me in situations where maybe I lacked or struggled, to help me win. And if they're listening to this and you remember this voice, I made it. No, I'm just kidding. I want to thank y'all for y'all patience, unwavering love for what you do, and just helping a kid from the South Side, grow into who I am today. Because I believe, like Price, you always say, there's no such thing as coincidences. So, people not sticking their neck out, but just going that above and beyond. It really showed, and kind of helped along the way.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah, same here. Definitely can't remember all names or whatever. However, there were teachers who, at the time, you know what I'm saying, when you're getting in trouble, right, or they're calling your parent or whatever, you mad, well, you're so mad at them, you just like, oh, can't stand you or hate you and all this stuff here. However, they were very instrumental in helping to save your life. So for kids, if you're listening to this right now, don't get upset when they basically call you out, you know what I'm saying, on the stuff you're doing, because you shouldn't be doing it. They care, okay? It's the ones that don't say anything, the ones that allow you to just continue to act up, or however, are the ones that don't care, you know what I'm saying, as much. But the ones that will take that extra, step and call the parent and so forth and so on, they believe in you. They know you have potential. They want you to succeed, and they know you just need a little bit of disciplining and to keep you on track. So I definitely want to echo all y'all sentiments and say the same thing, that I appreciate those teachers who did the same thing for me, help shape me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also, we come from a space where, we don't want to be called out on our stuff. I get it. We're young and we know it all. But in the long run, like you said, Price, they care. It's the only reason why they're doing it is because they care.
That's right. So, again, shout out to y'all out there, all the teachers that's caring. Okay, so we're getting some of the we're weeding out some of the bad teachers, or the controversial teachers, or however, you know what I'm saying, that are making it a little more difficult for him to carry out his vision. And now we're getting down to the meat of it, the ones that, okay, you guys are left here. So this is how we're going to start doing things. And you can see already, right? Because the kids cheered when they got rid of all those bad kids. They cheered. They're starting to feel a little more safe. He already told the janitor, hey, look, you're going to take some of them students, the ones that's on detention, and you're going to use them to help paint these halls, which I thought was cool, man. I'm like, he didn't say, well, hey, look, go find some more janitors and y'all going to do it. No, we're going to repurpose this. You know what I'm saying? We're going to let the students learn how it feels to do hard work and to actually clean up your school. That this is your school. This is where you come in to be.
Take pride in it.
Take some pride. Thank you, bro. Take pride in it. I think even one of those banners said something about East Side Pride or something like that. Take pride in the place that that you spend all your time at, which helps you take pride in your home later on in your life. You know what I'm saying? You'll clean up your house. You know what I mean? You keep your house nice and tidy and everything because you care about where you spend your time. So just a lot of life lessons that he was given that people didn't even understand. Even the teachers didn't understand at the moment. But he's in it. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. You can already see some of the students reacting to it. You can already see them kind of, even though they fear him a little bit, but it's a respectful fear. You didn't want to cross paths with him and be on his bad side. You know what I mean? But my man is a little rough on the edges. My man is absolutely a little rough on the edges. When they what are you trying to say, bro? In the cafeteria when they were talking about the music. He always messes. Sam's, he can. I don't care. It could be the Million Man March. He can spot Sam's anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna find him.
Sam's, get back here.
And of course he's over there with the Riff, like what was the name? Riff, the group Riff. All right, now this is a back in the day thing because I always would get them confused with Truth. I don't know why I always thought that was Truth, but it was Riff. And Riff is an American R&B and soul a cappella group from Paterson, New Jersey, which is awesome for them to literally be from there and to get a chance to be in the movie too. That was just awesome. They were the songbirds in the bathroom scene. They recorded 2 albums in the 1990s, and then of course they're talking about they're working on music and so forth and so on. One of them is Sam's cousins and however. And so he's like, okay, songbirds, huh? All right, cool. Well, go ahead and sing the school song. You know what I mean? And of course, they doing it terribly. And he's basically calling them all out in front of everybody. Hey, these guys are going to learn this song, or they will be suspended or expelled, or so forth and so on. And then he even takes them to the office. I'm like, good God, man! All you had to do was sneeze wrong, you had to go to the office. And we find that out because while he's talking, Michael Beach's character, Mr. Donnell, he bends over because he tells him, don't move. He bends over to pick up some trash, and he's like, Mr. Donnell, what are you doing? I was bending over to pick up. Didn't I tell you not to move? I told you not to move. I'm like, God, please, boy, go to my office right now. I'm like, the kids, the parents, the teachers, everybody has to go to his office. I'm like, this dude is not playing. But of course, once we get back, but I gotta say one thing. Now, this is your first time seeing this, and so I'm just curious. When it gets to Kid Ray, now Kid Ray is the Hispanic dude, with the hair and the suit, right? And Joe Clark is like
the sharp brother that said, I had to come dressed for success, just like you, Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark,
dapped
right?
him up, thought he was down with coaching. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
But did you kind of know already what Kid Ray was involved in? Like, dude.
Oh yeah. Listen, man, them camera angles, they'll catch you lacking, big dog. He did some moves under them tables. I just think he was one of those ones that really was like looking for an out.
Right.
He was really looking for an out, and it hurt my heart when we got to that scene where he was like, "Hey, just letting you know, I'm dropping out."
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, I know why he specifically came here looking for you.
Right.
I know exactly why.
Right.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah.
If you know, you know. So that he was involved in some stuff. He got himself too deep, and he was really trying to use this as an out. But sometimes the streets will come find you.
And definitely a sad scene. It definitely tugs on your heartstrings because you could see the disappointment in Joe Clark's face. And from when he said, "You'll be dead in a year, son. You'll be dead in a year." Like, golly. Now, so far, he has predicted quite a few. So you're just going to probably imagine that Kid Ray, ain't going to probably make it past 365 days. But yeah, anyway, like you said, that's later in the movie. But yeah, man. So I was just curious because I remember even looking at it back then. I'm like, something's up with Kid Ray. You know what I'm saying? He got the chains, he got the suits in it, but he was wearing suits to school, right? You know what I mean? So anyway.
I believe he I was a couple scenes. He handed off a couple things to some people. You know what I'm saying? He collected a little bit of cachet, as they say. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't just that dapper for no reason.
For no reason, exactly right. But yeah, man. So of course, man, Mr. Darnell's in the office, and he's telling him like, "Hey, man, I thought I told you not to move. I was picking up trash." He said, "I'm not gonna be here sitting there for this insubordination." And so, man, he pissed him off so much. That dude flipped that desk on him. You know what I mean? Like, boy, I will kick your ass. He said, all over this school and such. And
yeah,
hey, he didn't shake Joe though. He didn't shake Joe. Joe was like, he was gonna take that.
Yeah, he had his moment. He definitely had his moment. Let's just say it was something brewing in Darnell. He just get it off your chest.
Get it off your chest, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
But, and see, I had to laugh real quick because you sent that that clip earlier when they kind of zoomed in on girl's face when old boy was getting the crack. that was funny too, man. Because that's like how they did it in the movie. And zoomed in on her, she just shaking her head. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I started seeing things now that I'm older. I started seeing things that I normally wouldn't have paid attention to when I was
Right,
younger. So I'm
right.
like, oh, okay, look at her.
Yeah, she looked. Yeah, and the way they zoomed in on it was all like she was joking. You smoke crack, don't you? Don't you smoke it? But yeah, man. So we get a chance to see that it was a little extra. That's the part of Joe Clark where it was like, come on, bro. Now the man was picking up trash. He's literally cleaning up the school. Like, come on. But there were choices that he made in their work that were, of course, like, that's a little extra, bro. I know you're trying to come in and let people know who you are. However, you're going to start to alienate people and so forth and so on. So we see the struggle.
Which is why Beverly was such a great B character, right?
Sure.
A better vice principal, But we'll get to there when we get there. But...
Right, because we almost there, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Because he's tearing into everybody. He's tearing everybody a new one. Like,
everybody got it. Oh, Mr. O'Malley, I feel like if I took count, I think Mr. O'Malley got it the most. Out of everybody on that staff, if I'm being honest with you.
Bro, like you almost feel bad for him because actually in that part
he came in late.
Bro, look, check this out. But when he flipped over the desk and he was talking to the vice principal Beverly, and he was in there talking to her, and Mr. Bally walked in, he was like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Clark, what do you want?" Nothing. They can wait. he got up out there quick, dog.
Struck fear into that man's heart.
I don't want no smoke, dog. I don't want the smoke. I'm good. I can wait. I'll call you on the phone. But yeah, man. So like I said, he's definitely coming in, doing his thing. He has ticked off the parents. They're holding, I don't know what you want to call a town hall or something. And they are letting them know they are pissed at him. And you could probably imagine, I probably could pick the kid that was her kid. It was probably the drug dealer dude. You know what I'm saying? That was probably her kid, just from her attitude and all that stuff there. But she was already, man, first scene, you already like, oh my God, I don't like her. Just the look and everything, right? She just seemed like somebody who would be in there, causing issues and everything. Like, well, I see why your kid got suspended. You know what I mean? He just like you. But he wasn't having it. You know what I'm saying? He even said, hey, I prayed and God told me to, kick them bastards out. You know what I'm saying? Get them out of here, So, but he was not playing. He didn't play with the teachers. He didn't play with the fire chiefs. He didn't play with the mayors. He didn't care who it was. Anybody could get it, bro. But however, again, controversial person is going to cause some issues. I think another one of the favorite scenes for me, man, when the superintendent had to come back in, had him meet, you know what I'm saying? Because of course, somebody has to come in and be a little diplomatic with it. You got to kind of satisfy everybody in a sense. And, he's basically telling him like, dude, I got your back. You know what I mean? I got your back. However, you're going a little too far with this, bro. You're making my job harder. I'm the superintendent. So all that stuff that you do comes back to me. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm the one that's got to deal with all this stuff here. I'm the one that's out here kissing babies, shaking hands and all this stuff here. And I got to hear about your mess with this crazy stuff you're doing, because what he did was, and this was the most controversial thing he did, he locked the doors, with chains and a lock and a master lock. Now, I will say that in my profession, okay, there's certain things that you cannot do because there is a fire code. Now, when I was younger and watching this, I didn't understand it as much. I mean, you're hearing them talk about it and you're like, I guess, but I don't know. However, in my profession, it is absolutely against the law to lock people inside of a building, because if there is a fire, people have to be able to escape. That's why in the stairwells, you know what I'm saying? The doors have to close. You know what I mean? They have to close, and they have to close tightly because they have to contain the fire on that floor. You know what I'm saying? So, and then in a lot of buildings, they use those stairwells as a area of refuge. You know what I mean? Where people would gather and everything like that. If there's a big storm, tornado, whatever, people go in there because you don't have any windows. You know what I'm saying? Any glass, anything like that could break it and cut you or whatever. So as I'm watching it now as a grown man, and actually this is in my profession where, fire codes and things like that is something I have to deal with. I'm like, yeah, bro, you actually are breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, what if a fire had broken out? Like, who's going to get to the door fast enough, and who's going to be able gather all those kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see him conduct any fire drills. You know what I mean? Of, hey, in case of a fire, this is what we're gonna do. All I know is he had code 10. But yeah, man. So controversy.
But code 10 felt like it kind of came later on too. Like it feels like code 10 wasn't in place until he found out that, you know, we're gonna get there. But you know, they was coming for him.
They was coming.
So he still didn't necessarily have anything kind of in place.
No.
For the what if.
He didn't. So he was wrong. Let's just make sure we clear on that. He was wrong for doing it. I understand the reason. I mean, he wanted to keep the riffraff out because, of course, that dude got back in. He's beating up, you know, Kid Ray and all the stuff here. But right? It wasn't another way you could have posted some people at the door or something like that. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But that's what this was all about. He's making the job harder for the superintendent. The superintendent's like, look, first of all, let me tell you what's gonna happen. You're going to apologize, or you're going to write a formal apology to that lady, you know what I'm saying, at the town hall, you know. You're going to write an apology to Mr. Darnell, and you're going to bring him back. He's one of our better teachers, you know, passionate, cares about the kids, and so forth and so on. You didn't need to fire him. So you're going to bring him back. And of course, you know, as you see, because you mentioned Beverly, there were only two people in that whole movie that could actually challenge him that he would bow to. That was Beverly, the vice principal, and that was the superintendent. Because the superintendent, you know, we didn't even say this earlier, that of course in the first meeting with the teachers, he let them know that, you know, I am the the HNIC here. And then of course, you know, the white dude leaned with HNIC. She's like, yeah, head nigga in charge, right? And so when we get to the superintendent, you know, he's on him like, brother, I will go through the fire for you. But you are making this hard for me with the stuff you're doing because it's your pride now. You know what I'm saying? You know, you tripping over here, man. You know what I'm saying? You're doing stuff that's not making sense. You know, you're alienating everybody, the people that need to have your back. And then, you know, broke it down to him like, and controversy to popular belief, I'm the head nigga in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, he just let him know. He put him in check quick on that one, dog. And it wasn't much he could say. And it tripped me out because, you know, they climb over the thing, right? But there's a door. The door opens. The little gate opens and swings, so you could literally open it. But they so pissed off, they ain't even trying to open the door.
And not only that, man, he told that man after saying all that, now let's go eat. Yeah, and I had to push you in your place, man. But let's go ahead and get something to eat, man. I know this door opens, but I don't feel like opening the door, so I'm just gonna walk right through.
I'm just gonna walk right up here. I'm gonna hurdle this thing.
I'm gonna hurdle on through.
And of course, which was cool because it was like, you know, a little bit of headbutting, but you knew they was boys though. You could tell that they was boys and they've been riding for each other for a long time because Joe Clark couldn't even really say anything. You just like, you think you bad, don't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you bad, but and actually he was a superintendent, you know, and he was the HNIC, you know. So, but he got his back, and I did like when he said it, like, brother, I will ride through the fire with you, but I can't if you're doing things that does not make sense. So there was a couple times that he got checked. Now I know you brought up Beverly, so I definitely want to let you speak on her. Because we're pretty much at the moment where we know the mayor's kind of getting a little pushback from the lady, when, you know, who was representing the teachers or however. We've had the fire marshal come and, you know, say something about having the chains on the doors and so forth and so on. Now this is after the superintendent showed him the newspaper where it has an article saying Crazy Joe is chaining the doors and so forth and so on. So when he goes out there and talk to the fire marshal, you know what I'm saying? He's got a bat in his hand now, you know? And the fireman, what's the bat for? They used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman, you know? Like, he is not playing. And just like we mentioned in the beginning of this review, that was what he was known for, was, you know, walking around carrying a bat, you know, through the halls of the trouble school. But
it's kind of crazy and foreshadowing if you think too, you know.
Yeah.
You know, some featured films that Morgan Freeman was a part of.
Right? Dark Knight, Batman Begins, yeah. That's cool. But I do like that part also because this is right after that scene with the superintendent. The first person that's out there holding it down, holding the fort down, is Mr. Darnell. You know what I'm saying? He's telling the fire marshal, no, you're not getting in here. And Joe Clark even tells him like, hey, thank you, Mr. Darnell, for holding me back. Hold me down. He's like, well, you shouldn't have never fired me in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But I thought that was cool.
I don't remember the word fire ever coming out of his mouth. I remember him saying indefinitely suspended.
No.
Now, did he give a...
He said indefinitely suspended, meaning indefinitely, like you're not coming back up in here. You know what I'm saying? So in layman terms, yeah, that's kind of fire, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't coming back up in here,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
I
ain't look at it from that perspective. I just felt like he didn't say the word. So why is everybody taking it as if he's fired? But
they said he ain't had the power to fire him, so that's why he said he was suspended like that. So I guess that was the only thing he could do. Yep.
And then he said he can make recommendations though. He can't flat out fire him, make recommendations for sure. But anytime somebody says indefinitely, it's like that's it, bro. You ain't no coming back up here. But yeah, no, I to see them bond off of that right there, I was like, that was cool. That was cool as well. Okay, so now we know, what I'm saying, Mr. Darnell, he's on board. You can see a couple of teachers turning around, kind of getting on board with him. And but again, he's still very controversial. And by this time, he has, because bro, I felt bad for him, man. I want to let you speak on her, but I felt bad for Miss Beverly because she tried to have his back as much as she could, man, and he just took everything out on her. What are the test scores, right? Because they had to take the practice test, and he just wanted to kind of see where this is just to kind of see where everybody is, and I'm assuming he thought they would get a higher score, of course, right? Than the lowest in the whole district. But he was on her, bro. Like, good God, man. Like, where the test scores at? What, why you not doing this? Why you not doing that? Good God, man. But I feel you, bro. I definitely
man.
was down with her for sure.
Yeah, man. It just it spoke to the superintendent. You just push everybody away at arm's length. You know what I'm saying? It takes a village, and you turning on everybody, alienating everybody, making everybody feel ostracized. It's gonna come back to bite you, dog. You gotta stop that. And he just kept doing it. It just kept going. And everybody, every way you got it. Boom, boom, boom. Shots off, shots here, shots there, shots there. Yeah. But when she finally stood up to that man, put her foot down and said, "Listen, you're gonna listen to me."
Right. Yeah, she checked him like a kid. No, you're gonna stand there and you're gonna listen.
And she needed to, because at the same time, like you said, it was only two people that could really get through to him, which goes to show, it was a lot of work that he needed to do with himself still too. Sure. This is the job, this is the cause, but at what cost do I need to complete the mission? Do I need to lose myself completely, ostracize my team? Right. My favorite line. You Yep. It's us. It's we. We did this as a team.
Yep. You did not do this by yourself, homeboy. Yeah. Now you know what's crazy? How the balance of this is that for every time that somebody had to check him on his ego and all this stuff here, then he would do something else, bro, that make him so humanized. They would humanize him when he come out into the hallway and old girl is out there crying and he's like, what's wrong, Kenesha? I don't have nowhere to live. My mama don't want me no more, what, and they go to the apartment, what I'm saying? They in the hood, they dropping watermelons off the top floor. Like, I don't even know what that was about, what I'm saying? Just dropping watermelons off the top floor. And we going to find out that the mother,
must be that watermelon. Must be that watermelon thump CBR be talking about or something.
That's right. Shout out CBR. Yeah, the watermelon thump out in what is this? I know this is not Gonzales. This is I don't think this is Luling either, but it's somewhere here in Texas. I'll remember, of course, after the podcast. But I will say though, we will be covering that on our upcoming Tiny Texas Town tours as well. So okay. He that's what I'm saying, bro. He has a nice little balance because He goes in there, talks to her mother. Her mother's basically like, look, I ended up getting on drugs. I had my kid when I was 15, and which actually, ironically, right? We know what actually happens later with her own kids. It was like, wow. But just to see him come in there and basically say, look, your daughter is one of our lights. You know what I'm saying? She's a light in all the darkness. We need her to help inspire the other kids that want to learn and so forth and so on. Because you used to be, back in the day when she was in elementary school, you was one of our top parents. You know what I'm saying? Always involved in everything. What's going on? And she basically like, hey, well, I got on drugs, and the father's not here, and he's like, well, look, I tell you what, if we can help find you a job, help you find another place to live, will you allow her to, stay and keep her in school and so forth and so on, and yeah. So it was a little bit of a balance, man, for all the crazy Joe stuff. You know what I'm saying? He also showed how human he was, and he actually did care. He cared that deeply. And some people are just so passionate about something, they just don't know how to bring it across. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're well-intentioned, right? So,
and I feel like that was another, something else why they stuck in the trenches with him, which is another thing she helped him realize. We see your passion. We see how much you care.
Right.
You just don't need to take everything out on everybody.
Yep.
Simple. We a team. We doing this together. I get it.
Yep.
But I can't be your biggest punching bag being your vice principal.
Exactly. Because she had enough. She was like, we're sick of you. Like, you're mean, you're cruel, and I've had enough. And she's like, I want to transfer. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I need to go to a whole other school. I can't take it. I'm done. She checked him. You will listen. You will stand there and you will listen. And he's like, all right, fine. And I tell you, bro, the crazy part about it was he wasted no time whatsoever. Now, I'm going to say that because I got to get to another part, but I'm going to say this. He wasted no time, because the very next scene, he walk up to her, give him that envelope. What's this? That's the transfer you asked for. God, boy, he you know what I'm saying? Like, that boy didn't play. But I gotta shout out one part, man. Of course, as we always talking about, every time, he see your boy, Sam's, and Sam is walking with the crew. Of course, they go off into the bathroom, and Sam's, he kind of walks past the door a little bit and getting ready to walk back. And who comes around the corner? Joe Clark. He on him, dog. Like, he can't get away from that dude. But come to find out, he's like, hey, what you doing? Oh, yeah, man, I'm doing good in school, and I'm getting some B's in the class. Okay, great. All right, Mr. Clark, I'm going to see you later. He go around the corner. Sam's, come back around. Let's go in this bathroom, because you think you're slick. Go in the bathroom, of course. They hanging out in the bathroom and all that stuff there. They try to act like they washing their hands, doing all that stuff. And he's like, this is the same crew, of course, that he told him, hey, you better learn that school song. And he go in there, and this is probably one of my favorite part of the movies, of course. And you like, so let's hear it. Let's hear the song. And then, of course, old boy starting off, face, like he nervous or something, right? And he already like, yeah, y'all messing up. But the rest of the guys are looking at him like, come on, dog, do it right. Quit playing. You know what I'm saying? Do it like you're supposed to do it. And he started off very side, and them boys coming there harmonizing it, And he looked like, I mean, shout out to Riff, man, because you're talking about an R&B group, right? That was what they was known for. However, as far as acting like they were, kids that were in a school and a little nervous when the principal is approaching them, they played that part. I mean, because the dude kind of looking down and looking up at him and everything. Say my name, do all that. I mean, it was just perfect, dog. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a really good part because it stopped him in his tracks, dog. Stopped him in his tracks, and the way Morgan played it, you thinking like, golly, man, they sung the song, they sound good. Who taught you that? Who taught you that song? Who taught you? It's like, do you have to yell at everything? Golly, man, you gonna make me pee my pants.
You smoking crack? You smoking crack?
You smoking, don't you? And so, of course, he's like, Miss Powers. Well, let's go see Miss Powers right now. Now, I don't know if y'all remember this part, bro, but I had to rewind this because I'm like, I don't know if he did this by mistake or
Oh
he
no,
did this
my
on
favorite
purpose.
part of the movie.
Bro, when he brought him into that chorus room, he was grabbing Sam's by the collar. He slammed him right into the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, God. And so when he brought him in there, Miss Powers, man, you got to know that if you see Joe and he talking to you, you're just gonna be nervous already because they're already coming in like a rock wall or something. And he's like, Miss Powers, I just heard something I could not believe. You know, who told you that you could to change the song? Well, you know, the kids thought it was a little boring and such and such, so you know, we thought we should change it and such and such, whatever. You know.
Did I authorize you to change it?
Did I? Like, God, you know. And he still looking mean and he started walking off. Well, Miss Powers, take a bow. You just changed the song. You know what I mean? It's like, man, you could have said that from the beginning, bro. Like, why you gotta come in all here yelling at me? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I lost my job and everything, you know. So, but that was just a part. That was a really, really, really good part, man. Made you smile, make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. You know what I mean? Then of course they played the song.
Another one of the moments that you was talking about, Price.
For sure, absolutely, bro.
Because in his mind, it connected, it clicked. It said, "This is exactly what I wanted y'all to learn."
Right. This was it. This was it. This is what I wanted. Now, yeah, heads up, exactly right. Right. Things are starting to turn for the better. Now he's walking down the hall. He's in a good mood, bro. Like nobody sees him this way because you know when he's walking down the hall on this moment, he's out there high-fiving and dapping people up, and they looking like, what's going on? This dude ain't usually like this, right? He see Mr. Darnell. Hey, Mr. Darnell, keep it going now, you know. Give him high fives and stuff. He's Darnell looking at his hand like, did you just drop something in my hand or something, bro? What's going on? He walking into the principal, to the office and everything, all happy. Miss Beverly, you will not. What was her name? What was her last name on this, man? I want to keep calling her Miss Beverly. But anyway, let's just say
Levita,
yeah, Levias or something like that. Levias, Miss Levias, you will not believe what I just heard. Heard the most incredible thing and such and whatever. And you know, she's like, hey, I got those test scores for you. You know, man, he look at that thing. They supposed to get at least a 75% to pass. It's 33%. Boy, he went from feeling good to feeling horrible, dog. Like, didn't I tell you to give me this thing weeks ago? If you'd have just did what I told you to do, and of course, like you said, your boy right there, Mally was right there, of course, so he always catching it. It don't matter. He just catch it all the time. But yeah, man, I was just like, good God, bro. So yeah, that changed his mood real quick. You feel me? I gotta give a special shout out to Michael Imperi or whatever his name is. I know he was in The Sopranos, but he played George. Now George, they never even said his name in there, but he was one of the kids that was actually on stage that got kicked out. And I was like, wow, look at him, Michael Imperioli, right up in there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get a speaking part or nothing, but he was one of the bad kids. I was like, how about that? You know, might have back in the day. So yeah, man. So anyway, those test scores are bad. That's when he took them into that gym. All those teachers, man, and he's like, all right, look, first 4 rows, I want y'all to move up, turn around, face the other ones. Now, this is the 33%, you know, of the ones, you know what I'm saying, that scored this and so forth and so on. And this is the other ones, you know what I mean, of that's going to be basically out on the street. Now, I want all y'all to raise your hands. He's like, raise both your hands up. And then he talking to them, and he talking, and then all of a sudden you start to see people hands, keep your hands up. You know what I'm saying? Put them up. It's like, okay. So they raise them, and then he talking, and I guess people all start to get tired. And you go, keep your hands up. Then I say, raise them. Yeah, I was like, God, but he did not play, dog. I was like, Joe Clark, man, dude, I mean, was definitely to be respected for sure. You know what you got to say? He is fair across the board. Like I said, parents, teachers, mayors, whoever, it don't matter. If you're messing up, he definitely gonna call you out.
Everybody can get it. Trust me. He was not impartial.
At all. At all, dog. At all.
Not even a lick of favoritism.
Yeah, and this plays to what you were saying earlier, was that, listen, if y'all don't teach them, if y'all don't put the effort, if y'all don't stay after school and create some tutoring sessions and this whatever, This is the posture that they're going to have later on when, except for they're going to be staring down the barrel of a gun, basically trying to say like the police. This is how the police is going to have them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, put your hands up and so forth and so on, or whatever. But this is what's going to happen. This is going to be their future if y'all don't get it together and teach these kids. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Yeah. I thought that was a great part too, man, because it was a couple of students in there. He didn't care what they heard. The students were like, ooh, you know what I mean? And I thought that was actually good for the students because he let them know, look, I'm not just getting on y'all, I get on the teachers too. Everybody got to be held accountable. So, but anyway, man, of course we got a nice little montage of, the students practicing and learning and so forth and so on. You got Sam's in there, working with the teacher, to try to learn, stuff like that, what a spear is and what, all the stuff like that, chemistry and all the other stuff, man. I thought that was cool. But you had a nice little montage of them learning. But then we get into the part that we talked about earlier, bro. When you're talking about Code 10, we find out, all right, of course, I forget her name, the lady who was actually the teacher, I guess she was a representative of all the parents or whatever. Leona Barrett, Miss Barrett. So she's in there with the mayor, basically telling the mayor, look, let me tell you something. If you don't do something about this crazy Joe, I got plenty of people who are ready to vote you right out of office. And I know that you don't want that to happen. So you need to do something right now, And of course he gets to play up to her, and he's planning something with the fire marshal, to try to catch Joe with the chains on the door. Fortunately, my man is in the bathroom, you know what I mean? Got his legs up because, of course, the mayor bends down to make sure everybody's installed. But my man got his legs up in the air, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Mr. Rosenberg, because he made sure to tell Joe that, hey, look, they coming for you, homeboy. So you need to do something. And yeah. So now we're here. Now we're here, man. She's like, look, y'all better do something. You need to go today, because the fire marshal's like, look, he won't let me in. I don't care. You need to go. You need to get in there. The mayor's basically, I will give you the documentation that you need to get past whoever to get him, caught up. Now, by this time, we find out that Kanisha Carter has gotten pregnant by the president of the student body. You know what I'm saying? The president of the student body. Okay, you know what I mean? He didn't, got a little something and knocked her up, but now he's acting like it ain't his and so forth and so on. So that was alluding to what we talked about with her mother, having her at 15. So I want to imagine she was a little older, because I think she was a senior at that moment, if I'm not mistaken. I think she might have been a senior. So of course she was probably maybe 17, you know what I mean? Probably going on 18. But she ended up getting pregnant. Now, we don't know if she decided to have the kid or not. I know he talked about, hey, there's some options, and we'll talk about it with your mother. But right at that moment, here comes Tony Todd, you know what I'm saying? The security guard. Hey, fire marshal done got past the gate. He's coming up to the school. Boy, that boy got on that radio so fast. Hey, everybody, code 10. Take the chains off the door right now. Code 10. Boy, your boy sitting there recording that thing, dog, just like, golly. So, boom, they got him. They got him, X. He was doing well too, bro. They had it all locked down, man. He was doing well, but they finally got him, dog. He broke the law. I do like that, he took it, took it like a man. He know what he was doing. He was well aware that he was breaking the law. And, everybody, hey, Mr. Clark, what's going on, Mr. Clark? What's that? Hey, look, you break the law, this is what happens. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't try to clean it up and say nothing like, oh, man, they tripping or whatever. He even told him earlier, look, I don't want you blaming the white man. I don't want you, hey, man, I thought that was cool right there, bro. Because I'm like, yeah, because that's what gets on my nerves. Don't blame the white man. I'm like, you have a lot more control. Now, back in slavery days and this, that, and okay, fine. But we talk about now. And now times you have way more control over your life and the way your life can go depending on the decisions that you make. You can't blame anybody else. Blame yourself.
Absolutely. And he took it on the chin, like you said, man. He took the punishment. He said, hey, look, kids, this is an example right here, man. I broke the law. And this is what happens. But free Joe Clark, man.
Free Joe Clark. So, he's in there. Now, another good line. He's in there. They're trying to vote him out and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, what you hear free free Mr. Clark. Man, the students done rose up, man. I mean, this is the impact that he's had on their lives. These kids are marching down to City Hall to basically get, Joe Clark out of there. And disturb, causing such a scene that the mayor, the fire chief, everybody, so even Leona Barrett, Miss Barrett, she's coming out there with the megaphone. Hey, y'all need to go back, go back to your homes and this, that, and other, and such and such. And man, it's got it so out of hand, man. The mayor got to come in there and basically, hey, Joe, hey, man, look, the kids are out there doing this. Man, you gotta go out there and do something. I ain't gotta do nothing but stay black and die. I said,
That's it, brother. That's it, brother. Stay black and die.
Boy, one of my favorite lines of the movie, dog. I ain't gotta do nothing but stay black and die. I said, boy, he was waiting for him to say that too, boy. But when he painted it to him like, hey, look, okay, cool, you got me on that one. However, you do know what's gonna happen next. If we gotta have, some force involved in it, it ain't gonna turn out good for your students, man. You might want to reconsider that. You know what I mean? And of course, you know what I'm saying, like he would do. You know what I mean? He cared about the kids. He went out there and try to see what's going on. But what's cool is, as Miss Barrett is out there, hey, we're going to get you a better principal, and so we don't want a better principal. We want Mr. Clark, right? So, they out there doing anything. And of course, man, this part too, man, was always tripped me out with Kanisha and what was the name? Richard, the president of the student body or whatever. He's like, look, y'all just don't understand. Mr. Clark, this, and Mr. Clark is responsible, or Mr. Clark was proud of us. He's like, well, he wouldn't be proud of you because you don't handle your responsibilities. I'm saying, like, oh, you putting the business all up out there in the streets, huh? Like, golly, but then she got a chance to say her thing, like, y'all just don't understand, Mr. Clark. Some of us don't have fathers, and Mr. Clark is the closest thing to a we got to know. I'm like, girl, you're gonna tug all of them heartstrings, huh? I'm like, okay, you get me, But it was a trip, man. You get a chance to see him come out. Then all of a sudden they cheering and everything, and so old girl got the megaphone. He tried to reach for it. She snatched it away. He looked back at the mayor like, girl, give him that megaphone. Get up out of here without it. He snatched it back from her, and letting her know, trying to talk them down and all that stuff there. But it was cool because then, of course, we see Miss Levia. She comes with that envelope. Now, what's in that envelope, X?
Well, Price, she comes up, gives him an envelope full of lottery tickets, and no, I'm just playing. Let me stop. But this all happens while they take the crucial exam to determine whether or not the state gonna come in and swap the school, or did Joe Clark complete the mission and do what he needed to do. So she comes right on time.
Right on time.
You might want to read this right here, right now.
Yep.
Not later, not tomorrow, not next week, not 2 hours.
Yep.
Read it right now.
Yes, sir.
So what does Joe Clark do? Take that megaphone, grabs hold of the superintendent, and he says, look, it is my honor to let you know that we passed, dog.
Hey, crowd goes wild. Crowd goes wild, dog. Great scene. Loved it. For sure. Very touching. Very touching. Because he knew that they could do it. With the right guidance, the right focus, they could absolutely do it. And yeah.
Especially with the pep talk and the pep rally they had before they took the test, where he gave that motivational speech, and we saw the VP, vice principal, tear up her transfer letter. She said, I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to leave no more.
Yeah.
This is the good man I knew was inside of him this whole time.
For sure. Yeah, that was a part too, man, tugging the heartstrings right there. You know what I'm saying? That she really saw who he was at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because that was when, of course, just like the title of the movie, we got a chance to see the choir teacher sing "Lean on Me." Got the whole crowd, whole student body singing along with him, and everybody holding hands and swaying and holding up lighters like in a concert. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay up in here, man. So that was just good, man. definitely a great movie. I think that movie stands the test of time because, like I said, watching it, even especially if you're watching it, unless you're watching it on VCR or something, and the lines all squiggly, or, you know what I'm saying, the quality of the movie isn't good. But if you're watching on something, that's been remastered or whatever, it still looks good. It still feels good. I think it still pertains to a lot of things that are going on today. And when it comes to movies about schools and teaching and so forth and so on, it is definitely right up there at the top for me when it comes to that. So, all right, well, y'all know how we do. We're just gonna go ahead and get a quick little rating on this movie. Obviously, you can hear from how we talked about it endearingly. I think everybody feels pretty good about the movie. So let's just go down the line real quick. Let's see. How'd you feel, man? How'd you feel about Lean on Me after all these years?
Rewatching it, I thought it was a pretty decent movie. Like I said before, I had a different perspective versus when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things that you picked out while giving the synopsis or describing the movie was a lot of things that I noticed too. And I was gonna say, when I first tapped in and rewatched it, I didn't know it was based on a true story. My first time watching it, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was in Patterson, New Jersey. Shout out to Fetty Wap. He's from there. Free Fetty Wap. And my first thoughts when going into it, I said the same thing about Morgan Freeman. Like his age, or him looking young but old, at the same time. I was like, man, like he's been looking like this forever, but I guess he was younger then. I'm just trying to be PC about it, be politically correct about it. Sure. Respect. He's a legend and all that. Right. A lot of things I took notice in. And just like afterthoughts, I was thinking, did he ever teach a black school, or did he even teach black students? That's what I was thinking. And then he said he was the principal for the girl when she was in 5th grade or whatever. But starting off, I'm like, all right, a lot of white students, and then when they go 20 years later, a lot of white students. They were younger, but so then that got me thinking: was it segregated, or was it gentrification after they did the budget deal after he left? Because a lot changed within that 20 years. A lot of blacks, Latinos, a lot of black people are Latinos. So I don't know what happened in that school. Overall, you said "Welcome to the Jungle" at the beginning. Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, good. Good description, because they definitely made it a wild place. So I like how they did that. Yeah. And I was just wondering, like, what happened to all the money, if they got any money, because after they did the deal, after Mr. Clark left the first time, I was thinking, after we was talking about the doors and everything, why didn't they get the fire doors? Because they mentioned like every other school had the fire doors. So, just a few things that I noticed, but overall, good movie, great movie. Morgan Freeman, a legend, of course, Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll give it like a 7.3.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Maximilian, what would it do?
Well, I hated it. It was racially ambiguous. I didn't really like it that much. 2.2.
If this was opposite day, yeah.
Oh, okay. This can't be my review. Oh, okay. All right. Y'all want me to go in depth, huh? Well, shadowing off of the things that SCSCSC said, I feel like, from my first watch for a movie that came out in March of '89, and I came out maybe 6 years later, to stand up where it is now, I honestly believe that this was a good movie. It was a really good film. The message was there. Unconditional man with unconditional ways, but still showing that passion, showing that love, showing that intensity to protect and help guide the youth. I have personal examples with, my girlfriend, my baby, and my mother-in-law of just seeing that fight, you know what I'm saying, and seeing that fire in people, to care, just care about what they do. And, I feel like such a rare thing nowadays. Now, obviously, 89 film ain't perfect, obviously. There's some dings here and there, but if you're asking me to score it, my gut, I'm gonna lean towards my gut, and my gut is telling me to rate this film an 8.5.
8.5. Not bad at all.
Yes,
Not bad at
sir.
all.
Good
Okay.
score. Good score.
It is a good score. It is a good score. It's fair. It's fair. And keep in mind, for our audience out there, this is X's first foray, you know what I'm saying, venture into this movie. Again, as he said, he was born 6 years later? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, for a movie to come out before you were even born and you to check it out, you know what I'm saying, and now, all these years later, to say, yeah, no, it's good, I mean, we talk about over 30 years. So it actually goes into what I will say about the movie. There are movies that stand the test of time. There are movies that I don't care how old it gets, whatever, what year we're in or whatever, there are certain values that are just going to stay, in place, or should. Even as we go and we're at a place now where people could be all in the same room and everybody can just be on their phone and not communicating and I'm saying all these things here. I can't imagine, because if you notice, there was not one cell phone in that movie. Okay, not one. I can't imagine the difficulties of trying to teach kids and keep them focused while they have their phones. You didn't have the ability to look up answers on Google. You know what I mean? You couldn't even use calculators. We couldn't even use calculators back in my day. You had to literally figure stuff out on paper. You had to carry the one and all that stuff, right? So for teachers to have to do that now, I don't even know how y'all do it. That's why I'm like, definitely shout out to y'all. But even still, with all that, there are still certain values that stay in place, and and watching this now, even to this day, just like, wow, man, it makes me long for the days where we didn't have all the distractions that we have. Technology is cool, man. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It can be fun. However, it definitely can be very distracting. When you're just trying to teach people things and whatever. And of course, you're trying to teach this to kids who can literally look stuff up on Google and think they know more than you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't care that you've been on the earth longer, you've been through more experiences than they have. Google said such. You see what I'm saying? So they can just challenge you at any time they want to, right? Because Google said. So I can't imagine the difficulty and how frustrating that may be. So I long for a time of lean on me. You know what I mean? When you had these type of teachers, you had this type of stuff going on, when you had students who probably were more into wanting to learn because they did not know all of that. And you had to have, this person was your Google. You know what I'm saying? Your teacher, your elder, your whoever was your Google. That was how you learned stuff, right? Besides picking up the books and so forth and so on. So to watch this, man, and have that longing for, like, oh my God, man, I just missed those days. It just took me back. It took me back. And I think that a lot of people, teachers, parents, students, everybody could learn a lot from watching this movie, of how, things should be when it comes to teaching and passing on knowledge and respect. Definitely respect, of authority and respect of your teachers, respect of your parents. People are put into places of authority for a reason. And at the moment, just like we touched on earlier, you don't see it at that moment when you're a kid. You just think people are just trying to keep you from having fun and enjoying yourself, but it's not. They just want to help you go as far as you can go in life. They want to help save your life. So just to have a movie that was so much about respect and things like that, it was just really good, man. Really made me feel good. But really just touched the heart, touched the soul. So of course, not a perfect movie at all. As a matter of fact, as I was looking at it, I was like, man, some things seem a little rushed. Like we kind of went we went from this to this. You know what I mean? Like, God, how we get here already? It seemed like they tried to tell a lot. Which now keep in mind, when you're trying to tell this man's life experience, it's a lot to try to tell in just 2 hours. You know, I think the whole runtime was like 148 or something like that. That's a lot to try to fit into a movie, an hour and 44 minutes to be exact. That's a lot. You know, so some things had to be rushed. You couldn't go in depth of some things, of course. So it was a lot going on. Some
things unanswered, and some things just kind of left unanswered too.
Absolutely, just like we talked about with the girl getting pregnant. What did she do? Did she have the baby? Did she not have the baby? You know what I'm saying? You know, so there, yeah, right. I think they left some things to the imagination. However, as far as directing, when we shouting out the director, man, I was like, when they said it on the trailer, I was like, all right, okay, he did direct Rocky. He did direct the Karate Kid. Both feel-good movies as well, triumphant movies that had a person start from one place and built them up to this. So I thought it was good. So, but for me, of course, as we're telling the tale of someone's life and the accuracy of it, there are things that were in the movie that you absolutely could find that he truly did. I thought that was good as well. I think for me, man, I'm going to go ahead and round this on out with a 9 because the little dings that I did find, that'll keep it from being a 10 for me. However, as far as standing the test of time from a movie from 1989, I still think it holds out. So, what's that average looking like?
It's looking like a 8.2.
No doubt. Which means, y'all, if you haven't seen this movie, see it. It's good. It's still amazing. You get to see
to this day
in his prime.
To this day.
Yeah. Freckles and all. Still freckles. You know, he always had the freckles. This is what it was.
He was rocking the afro though, dog. I ain't gonna hold you. He was rocking that afro in the beginning.
Yeah, he was. So he was doing his thing. So definitely, man, go out and check out Lean On Me. Once again, shout out to your teachers out there. This one is for y'all, definitely for y'all. But for you students out there as well, you know, and welcome back to school. You know what I'm saying? Go and be all that you can be, learn as much as you can learn. It is absolutely to help you set up yourself for life and to be successful and to acquire this American dream. All right, y'all know what time it is. We like to end everything off with a quote.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You are living and learning. Forgive yourself and grow from the experience.
Also, of course, y'all know we can't end this out without 2 things. 1, just going to remind you, please like and subscribe, and make sure that you turn on your notifications.
Subscribe.
You don't want to miss it. Definitely check that out. And as always, you know the Hangout mantra. You've been a fan by now. It's not the quantity of people, it's the quality. Guys, we love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Shout out again to the teachers. We appreciate everything y'all have done for us. And we appreciate the time that you spend with us here at the Hangout Experience. And we will be back. And guess what? We are going out of space. Please join us next time for Aliens Romulus.